A lot of people ask me, what am I looking out for with dyslexic handwriting? And dyslexic handwriting is a really interesting topic because every dyslexic person writes differently, of course. But what you're looking for is you're looking for a combination and a repeated combination. So one of the first things to look for, and this is what I always like to say, consistent inconsistency. So there will be inconsistencies and you'll see them again and again and again. Things that you can see in this is adding to letters. So for instance, there's here, I don't know whether you can see, but there's something at the beginning of the N that needn't be there. Often, contractions and divisions. Now, let's just explain very quickly. There I'm trying to write, I'm dyslexic and I get these things wrong. Effectively, a contraction is when letters and words are squashed together. And divisions is where there is a space. In the word. You'll also notice checking, as I just did. You write something and then you go, actually, what am I writing? I do that all the time. So, the obvious ones. Reversals. A little bit of a division there. Mirroring. Transpositions, letters going in the wrong position, as it were, in a word. Missing letters, so a letter that's missing from a word. And additional letters, letters that should not perhaps go into that word. Death by chemicals. Non-horizontal lines. So, if they're writing, and even if there's lined paper, the writing is going up, or it's going down, or it's going up and down. See that? Perfect example. Inconsistent margins. And changing things later on. And you can also say inserts. Inserts, for instance, if you miss a letter out and then they come back and insert it later. So yeah, you can change a letter later and you can insert a letter, for instance. You might see a lot of that. Obviously messy handwriting, but artwork handwriting. Sometimes handwriting looks like a work of art, especially you see that, or if the handwriting is really messy and then the J has all these swirls on it. Uppercase, lowercase inconsistency. Is the letter capitalized or not? Should it be capitalized? Inconsistent punctuation. Unfinished words. yeah. Pressure, physical pressure in writing. People often really put a lot of pressure on the page when they're writing. Also, the way that they write, like this. And you can see pencil grip is often inconsistent, or pencil grip is perhaps not efficient. Change colours, I think. You'll often see something that we call stream of consciousness. Maybe the sentence seems to sort of end halfway through and go off in different strange directions. Repeated words. This is about working memory. People can't remember that they've written a word, and they'll write a word too many times in a sentence, an unusual amount of time for a normal sentence, because we often use synonyms. So obviously if the child's very young, this won't apply, but you know, as they get older. Missing words. Crossings out. They write something in like that. Or overwriting. So they might write a word over a word that they've previously written, or write a letter over a letter that they've previously written, almost to correct it. Or maybe just because their coordination skills aren't great. I call this one spidering. So almost as though when you're writing something, instead of writing it, you just kind of do that. And you'll see a lot of dyslexic people do that. There are lots of reasons for that, by the way. One of which is that they know no one's going to read it anyway. So no one can read their handwriting, so why bother? And of course, phonetic spelling. Spelling words as they sound. So instead of spelling words like thorough, I might have spelled thorough. So phonetic spelling. And overall, I think this is something we have to take into account. Unwillingness. A lot of people with dyslexia are unwilling to write by hand. Oh, of course, hang on. Inconsistent sizes. The letters, the words might be really big or really small at different times, or they might shrink or grow. And so you'll find inconsistent sizes in letters and words. There are lots of different signs of dyslexia when you see people writing, more than I've given you here, but I've given you some of the key ones that you might want to look out for. Think of some yourselves, have a play around. Think, do I have any dyslexic students or colleagues or staff members? Do they do this? If I can recognise it in them, can I recognise it in anyone else?